All right, we're here today at BBQ Pitstop. We have Clint Kennedy. And the reason we're here is I've had a lot of questions from people about what kind of barbecuer do I buy? What kind of smoker, grill? Where am I going to get the most benefit? So I thought we'd come down here and meet with Clint. Clint is where I bought my first smoker and helped me to understand what options I had and make some great decisions. So I thought we'd just go through and ask him a few questions and see what's available, and if it can help us see what a first-time user or buyer into backyard pitmaster would want to be looking at.
Okay, what's your first question?
So Clint, what are my options?
There's a whole bunch of options. You can go range from pellet smokers to Kamados to an offset. You can get real inexpensive up to very expensive. That all depends on what it is, what you're looking for. Typically what I talk to my customers about and what I say to them is the first question I ask is what's your budget? If you can get up to those higher end ones, in my personal opinion, I think they're better. Of course, they cost more. But if your budget is $1,000 or less, my personal opinion, Traegers are the way to go on that one. They have the best customer service, they have the best quality of their internal components. They get a bad rap, but they also own about 70% of the market. So the largest guy
70% of the market.
About 70% of the pellet market is what Traeger owns. So about 30% goes, it's split between Yoders, Memphis, Pit Boss, Smoke Daddies, Camp Chefs, other things like that.
So if I'm looking in a somewhere between a $1,000 to a $3,000 range.
$1,000 to $3,000.
I don't even know if I want pellet smoker or a Kamado. I mean, I just want to get out of gas and be more of a backyard. I want to be the neighborhood expert in barbecue.
Okay, then in that case, I'd say, what flavor are you looking for? Do you want what are you looking for in terms of ease of use? Do you like charcoal? Do you want to be able to control your dampers? Do you want to be able to control the pit from your phone? In that instance, I'd ask a little bit more specifics. If you want to be the neighborhood backyard guy, but also be able to sleep throughout the night without having to check on anything, I'm going either through a pellet smoker or through a Kamado. A Kamado, such as a Big Green Egg, Kamado Joe, a Vision, something like that. They'll last all throughout the night without having to refuel them. As soon as you get your damper set, they don't really move very much. Pellet smokers, same thing. Make sure the hopper is full. Set your temperatures. They'll go throughout the whole night as long as you're sure that they've lit.
That's the focus. I want the low and slow, but I don't want to have to babysit it. So let's look at the pellet and the Kamados.
Okay, pellets and Kamados. So let's start with pellets. First thing you need to do is just make sure that you have your hopper full. It doesn't matter if you fill it all the way up, fill it halfway. Just make sure that you have pellets in your hopper when the thing is going. Just set your temperature, whatever desired temperature you want. Turn it on, let it go. This whole smoke for 3 hours and then turn up the temperature, we don't believe in that here. Turn it to your temperature, your target temperature of what you're looking for, what you want to smoke it at. 225 to 275 is your sweet spot. You can get it up to 325 if you're doing chicken, but most of your meats are between 225, 275. Turn it within there, let it go.
So Traeger has a smoke setting, don't they?
Traeger has a smoke setting. They popularized the term smoke setting. It's basically 150 degrees, 140 to 180 degrees, and it's just a low temperature. You'll see a lot of pellet smokers on the market now that don't have a smoke setting, but they'll go as low as 150. That's still a smoke setting.
So that's intended to give you a much higher density smoke flavor?
Yeah, there's two types of smoke. There's called the creosote, and then there's the blue smoke. The creosote is the stuff that you see. It's the stuff that starts puffing out of here, and everyone thinks, oh good, the smoker's working. That's what makes your food taste like an ashtray. The stuff that you can't see is the stuff that you smell. That's what's going to give you your flavor. That's what's going to give you your smoke ring. That's what's going to do all the good stuff. Can't see that. You can never fully separate those two types of smoke. Pellet smokers do a good job of separating as best as possible, but you can never fully separate the two. So what you want is a smoker that you can smell what's going on, but you don't see it puffing all the time. If you see it puffing, your food's going to come out tasting like an ashtray.
Okay, cool.
One such innovation is their timber lights. They're dual walled, they're Wi-Fi, it's their higher end pellet smoker. So when I first started talking, I said, what do you want it to do? For the $1,000 or less category, I go with the Traeger.
Yeah.
There are exceptions to that rule. One of them being the Timberline. This is the $1,000 to $2,000, depending on what size you're looking for. Their new controller, their Wi-Fi controller, you can control the thing from your phone.
So that makes it so you can set it, you can leave, you don't have to hang around and
Watch it from your phone, control the thing from your phone. The only thing you can't do is turn it on, and that's a safety issue.
You talked about double wall. What's the advantage of double wall?
There's a couple of advantages with the double wall. One of them, pellet consumption. You don't go through as many pellets. Another advantage of a dual wall or a double wall is going to be temperature control. It regulates and stabilizes your temperature a lot better. Traegers are not the only one that have a dual wall. I want to make that clear. They're not the ones that started with the dual wall, but they do have the dual wall in their upper end models. Downfalls. Yeah, I will say this. One of the downfalls of a dual wall, the way that you get flavor out of a pellet smoker is obviously through the pellets. If you can burn some pellets, you'll get some flavor. With the dual wall, when you're burning fewer pellets, that's less smoke. It might stabilize your temperature, you're not burning it as much, but you don't get as much smoke out of it either. So what Traeger did, and which I think was very smart of them, is you can't see the exhaust down here. They don't have a smokestack like you see on other smokers. They have their draw in the back, but it has to vent out of the bottom back. So as the smoke is coming up and filling up in here, it has to penetrate all the way down in order for the draw to grab in the back and pull it out.
So you have a couple other grills here with Traegers, but what are the differences between each of these?
You're looking at price point and capacity on these. You have the Timberline 850, which is their smaller upper end one. The one behind you is the 1300. It's a much larger Wi-Fi dual wall smoker from
So same
Traeger.
features as that?
Same features. The difference is 12 inches.
Okay.
So this one's 22, that one's 34. Much bigger. The 850 is 850 square inches of cooking space. 1300 stands for 1300 square inches of cooking space on that one. And with these other ones, they're not the dual wall, but it's size. You have a Pro 20, you have a 22, and you have a 34. All of them, the difference between these three is all capacity.
Okay.
Number one complaint. So I said one of the top complaints is my smoker's not working, and I asked people, when's the last time you cleaned it out? But the number one complaint that I hear in the store from anybody, whether they bought from me or not, number one complaint is lack of capacity. So I will say, whatever you're looking at, go one size larger than what you're expecting. If you're looking at a little tailgater, go up to a Pro 20. If you're looking at a Pro 20, go to the 22. Number one complaint, lack of capacity. As soon as you get into pellet smoking, you'll realize how much it can do and what the benefits are, and you're going to just fill that thing up to capacity immediately.
Awesome, great. So I noticed you've got a couple other options here besides Traeger.
We do.
Let's take a look at some of those.
Okay.